Oneness. We are essentially one. I mean, there's one God. Every soul on this planet came from that one God. And we'll go back to that same one God. All of us, there are no exceptions. Every soul has a body. And this body came from this earth and will go back to this one same earth. God is a God of love, and He truly loves His creation. But this love, in order to work, must be reciprocated. My purpose in this conversation, dearly beloved fellow believer in Jesus Christ, is to highlight that command Jesus said, "Seek that you might reap the promised reward, and ye shall find." Seek and you shall find. In my life, I testify that that command is binding and that reward will happen. There can be no argument. Argument brings disunity, and the purpose of religion is to bring unity and the upliftment of mankind. Religion is effectively to do with relationships. They should be authentic and altruistic. While we are essentially one, all the people on this world are really one and the same on this one planet. Yet in different regions you get different situations. In Africa, the winds of change have been blowing down that continent, and there was a lot of war, and there still is. And the rest of the world also. I remember way back, America was busy losing the war in Vietnam. And in fact, it was during this time that I came to the conclusion that truly we were not finding a solution. War was certainly not a solution to anybody's problems. Setting off to search, you start on a foundation of sincerity, of honesty. You really want to know the truth. On that point, I would say to you, you find a truth better than I have. Please tell me. I'll follow you. In the meantime, if you set off on the road to search, you need at least 4 ingredients. You need to pray. Prayer is not difficult. God is spirit. We are essentially spirit. Conversation with the Spirit, that's prayer. Ponder. Ponder in your heart, the writing says. That means your intellect and your feelings must be united. You have to read. I mean, the guidance comes in books. There's the Old and New Testament, and there's the Quran. There are the texts of the Hindus, the Buddhists, and the Zoroastrians. These will give you guidance to find God. Consult. The purpose of consultation is to arrive at the truth. Now, it's not my job to convince you of anything. It's your job to search. Why search? Jesus said, it's the time of the end. He said, actually, it's the end. Jesus gave very clear signs about the end. When this gospel is taught all over the world, that's the end. When the Jews return home, that's the end. Jesus said that. We know full well you can never deny that those 2 prophecies have been fulfilled. That means the end has come and gone. It therefore seems right that we obey Jesus' command. We test the Spirit. We prove all things. We know full well that God is not the author of confusion. For me, I was looking for the fulfillment of the prophecy. 1 shepherd, 1 flock, peace on earth. Find the group that's about to achieve that and join them. That was my resolve. Judge them? Yes, by the fruits they bear. You cannot have a fig tree producing thorns or a thorn tree producing figs. There's no confusion. It doesn't take long to conclude, really, that none of the religions in the Adamic cycle can, judging by the fruits they bear, achieve 1 shepherd, 1 flock, peace on earth. Adamic cycle being that cycle of religions starting with Adam, goes all the way up to and including Prophet Muhammad, otherwise known as the prophetic cycle. They cannot unite within themselves. They certainly cannot unite with each other. That doesn't mean they're not good people. In each and every religion there are good, God-fearing, honest, striving people. To get a better understanding of religion, one should consider carefully spirit and the power of spirit. Rural Israeli carpenter kid, taught for 3 years, just 3 years. The consequence of that teaching was the transformation of Europe, East and West, and North Africa initially. Rural Israeli carpenter kids don't do that. This is the Spirit. This is God. Another example, an illiterate Arab desert dweller dictated a book, the consequence of which was a civilization which spread initially from Spain to India. You know that one of the popes was educated at a Muslim university. It was the best education available at the time. Illiterate Arab desert dwellers don't do that. This is the Spirit, this is God. Baha'u'llah is the prophet founder of the Bahai faith. His entire adult life was spent a prisoner of the Ottoman Empire. His teachings have now spread around the world, second most widespread religion in the world, second only to Christianity. Prisoners of the Ottoman Empire don't do that. This is God, this is the Spirit. The Bahai writings describe 5 basic forms of spirit: vegetable spirit, animal spirit, human spirit, the Spirit of God, and the Holy Spirit. Vegetable spirit is basically growth and reproduction. Animal spirit is all of that, plus the senses. The animal realizes, understands reality through its senses. The human spirit and the rational soul are one. It cannot lie and it cannot die. This is a gift from God. It's not the product of evolution, though it does itself evolve. This spirit allows us, our intellect, to understand from what is visible to deduce what is invisible. The mind, if you consider the soul as the lamp, the mind is the light, and has some control over this. With our mind, we control, to some degree, our soul. If it's turned towards the things of the world, it will be attracted to the things of the world. If it's turned towards God, it will be attracted towards God. The idea is that it should be balanced. We should walk the spiritual life with practical feet. If we achieve that, then our soul will be given by the Spirit of God, will be given the spirit of life, the spirit of faith. That comes from the Holy Spirit. We are essentially created in the image of God. We have choice, we have will, and we have to exercise both. The world at the moment is in an awful mess. This is not the will of God. God is a God of love. Book of Revelation, right at the end, talks about a beast being ridden by a prostitute. Now, on closer examination, St. John was given to see that ocean was not actually the sea. It was uncountable numbers of people. Tolstoy, in a conversation, suggested that the beast might be the spirit of greed and selfishness. Riding on the beast is a prostitute, and I would suggest to you the prostitute is the spirit of manipulation and deceit. This civilization on this planet is now reached full physical size. It's like we're in our adolescence, difficult time. We will get through this to our maturity just beyond. We all have a next step to take. Consultation with one another will help us to see this best step more easily for us individually and for us collectively. Unity in our diversity. The world at the moment is under the control of power and money. This must be changed to one where it's controlled by love and service, servant leaders. The archetype of a mature servant leader is surely seen in a good mother. She is the servant leader of her family. Nothing is more important to her than the well-being of her family, her children. That's the ideal servant leader. Is there any remover of difficulties save God? Say, praise be to God. He is God. All are His servants and all abide by His bidding. Qui au milieu dissipe les difficultés, dit, loué soit Dieu. Lui seul est Dieu. Tous sont ses serviteurs et tous se soumettant à son commandement. هل من مخرج غير الله قل سبحان الله هو الله كلون عباد له وكلون بأمره قائمون. Kuna mondoa shida yoyote isipokuwa Mungu. Sema, Mungu asifiwe. Yeye ni Mungu. Wote ni watumishi wake. Wote huishi kwa amri yake.